Northern Ireland Children's Hospice needs to raise £2.5 million every year to maintain its specialist care and support. Photographer Tommy Hassan and his colleagues are compiling a book of famous faces in unique poses to help raise valuable funds for the organisation.
I know Eamon's a big Johnny Cash fan, as am I, and so I rang Eamon and said, look, we're going to do this photo shoot near to the hospice.
It's only me. What do you mean, who?
Come the day of my actual shoot, it was a terribly rainy, blustery, grey, windy Saturday afternoon. Now there's a surprise for Belfast. It had the cowboy hat, that was okay, but and the guitar case was supplied for me. I needed a coat, and the only other man of the same proportions of me was Ivan Little, and Ivan draped me in his big coat. So we had the guitar case, I had the hat, we had the weather. Tommy did the rest.
I had an idea to do a shoot with Mark Mallet. Mark's a fairly cool customer. You know, nothing flaps him too much. So we shot it down at Crawfordsburn at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Mark wades into the water, waist deep, freezing cold, do the shoot, back out again. No questions asked.
Will we get some glitter and do some fish?
On a daily basis, the Children's Hospice usually has 6 or 7 of its 10 bedrooms occupied.
We've got the in-house team here, the care team within Horizon House, which provide the day-to-day care of the children while they're staying here. We've got housekeeping, admin, maintenance, we've got volunteers.
Hello everybody, hello everybody, how are you today?
What water does is provides a very anti-gravity or a buoyancy feel so that you can do things in the water that you can't do on land. How the children respond to water is extremely magical.
We also have the art room, which is a really, really important part of what we do here. Providing palliative care for children is about enhancing their life. It's about quality of life, and our focus here is to really just try and give the children a wide range of experience.
Earlier we met Debbie McAfee and her daughter Jade at home. The hospice team aim to allocate a respite stay every quarter for families like Jade's.
When you caught up with me at home, Jade was a bit unsettled that day, and I suppose that was the start of much bigger things for the past week. I've actually had a very difficult week with Jade, and it's been very difficult just pinpointing exactly what is going on with her and how to treat her. Knowing that I was coming up to hospice just has been just such a relief to me, and it's been great just to come up to offload emotionally and physically. It couldn't have happened at a better week for me.
While Debbie enjoys a break, Jade spends time in the sensory room.
She was very upset this morning, and since we've come in here she has chilled out again. She's actually opened her eyes. She wouldn't open her eyes this morning. So she's opened her eyes and she's having a wee look about to see everything that's going on, aren't you? It's very hard to say what sight Jade has. Jade was the first child to come through the door of the hospice whenever we opened. Jake was only a baby whenever Jade first came, and then Faith, she actually, the first time she came in here, I think she was like 3 days old. So it's lovely to see them and lovely to have them back. You have your up days and you have your down days, and I always say that the day, you know, that you don't get upset, that a child doesn't touch you, is the day that I'll not be working here anymore. You know, all the kids have a special place in everybody's heart. Do you see them lights? That's a girl.
The staff are all amazing, and they all go the extra mile, not just for Jade. It's very much family based. It's based around us all as a unit. You know, they look after my needs, they look after Jake and Faith needs. All the boxes are ticked. You know, you couldn't go anywhere else to get it. It's just brilliant.
The best thing about the hospice is spending family time together.
We're just in, we're making animal faces for like a poster outside.
I have done a hippopotamus. I'm a big fan of hippopotamuses because they're fat and they're grey and they eat people.
Whenever Tommy suggested that we marry my love of acting and my love of military history and became this shell-shocked soldier, I was up for it. It went on for quite a long time, me sitting there with the gear, and she was just making me look more and more like a soldier who had just come out of the jungle. And you know, the longer that went on, the more I really got into the part.
One for duty.
Tommy phoned me and said, I would like you to come along, and if you don't come along, the whole world will know you're a heartless human being.
So we put him in a junkyard, again down at Belfast Docks, funnily enough, and we made him look sunburned.
I don't think we should have been there. I think he actually broke into the scrapyard. I don't think we actually had any right to be where we were. Wardrobe was very nice. I looked like a spade who has been left under a sunbed for about a year. This picture isn't far away from the way Ulstermen actually dressed during the summer.
Providing end-of-life care and support to families after their child dies is a unique part of the hospice service.
These families have fought right throughout their child's life for the best for their child. And when they get to end of life, that's no different. They want the best. They want to be assured that their child will be pain-free in a place where the whole family can be together. And we allow them to write their own script.
Grania and Stephen Doherty sought solace with the Children's Hospice after they were told their 16-year-old son Stephen, who had Duchenne muscular dystrophy, was dying.
When your child is taken intensive care and you're told that things aren't going to go well and he is going to die, that becomes your focus. That's all you can think about is, my son is going to die.
I thought personally that no, my son's not going to do hospice, because to me it was a doom and gloom, and it was all like, were people going to die, and that sort of scared us as a family. As soon as we set foot through the front door, knew this was the right place for Stephen to come. Should it be for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, nobody knew how the end of life was going to last for.
You could actually physically see this spark coming back into him, and as if the will to live was coming back into him.
You get the whole staff, from the cleaning staff to the cooks, to the nurses, to the doctors, the management, the physios, to everything. And it's absolutely, every single one of them make the place what it is.
After 4 months of care at Horizon House, the hospice helped Stephen to be transferred home, where he passed away surrounded by family last July.
This particular part of the garden is really special to us. This is the Quack Garden. Every time a child dies, either in-house or within the community, we create a stone with their name and their date of birth, and the parents are invited then to place that in our memory pool.
When you lose your child, you kind of get caught up in a bubble that you've lost your child. And when we come up to the stone ceremony, all these other families have been affected in exactly the same way that you have, and it really does open your eyes.
Probably the most hair-raising one, logistically and from probably a security point of view as well, was the shoot with Paisley Senior and Paisley Junior. We realistically had to close off Stormont for the period of the shoot.
I love my bikes, big into that sport, and my dad loves motorcycles, and he always comes to Northwest 200 with me, or used to take me there, and now I take him. And we decided that was a good shot and something just a wee bit different. Iconic Stormont with my dad with his hat, but also in the back of a big chopper. And of course my dad was his charming usual self, and that was really good crack now.
Tommy and his team are aiming to release their book of snaps next autumn, but before then, he has a hit list of names he hopes to feature.
We've got people like Jimmy Nesbitt coming to us in January, February to do a photograph. There's local sports stars getting involved. Some of the other politicians, and there's a few good names coming next year. There's a few good surprises coming to us next year. Ultimately, I need Liam Neeson.
People want to get involved. They want to give something back themselves as well. And they are the best ambassadors that we in hospice have.
And it's, you know, just for such a tremendously good cause. I think everybody, especially me, really pleased with the background and really pleased not only to raise money for the Children's Hospice, but to pay tribute to one of my icons, Johnny Cash.
Like all of us, the staff and patients at the Children's Hospice will be celebrating Christmas. Children who are well enough will spend Christmas Day at home, but the hospice team will remain on call in case they are needed. For the families of these very sick children, the time they spend together is precious, and each Christmas which passes is an extra special gift.